in this video I am again going to continue Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone audiobook. So we left from here. His aunt and uncle steered platform 9 3/4. Okay. So friends, here we will continue from 96th page. So from here, "Don't talk rubbish," said Uncle Vernon. "There is no platform 9 3/4. It's on my ticket." "Barking," said Uncle Vernon. "Howling mad, a lot of them." "You'll see, you just wait." "All right, well, we'll take you to King's Cross. We are going up to London tomorrow or I won't bother." "Why are you going to London?" Harry asked, trying to keep things friendly. "Taking Dudley to hospital," growled Uncle Vernon. "Got to have that ruddy tail removed from before he goes to Smeltings." Harry woke at 5 o'clock the next morning and was too excited and nervous to go back to sleep. He got up and pulled on his jeans because he didn't want to walk into the station in his wizard's robe. He would change on the train. He checked his Hogwarts list yet again to make sure he had everything he needed, saw that Hedwig was shut safely in her cage, and then paced the room, waiting for Dursleys to get up. 2 hours later, Harry's huge, heavy trunk had been loaded into the Dursleys' car. Aunt Petunia had talked Dudley into sitting next to Harry as they had set off. They reached King's Cross at 10:30. Uncle Vernon drummed Harry's trunk onto a trolley and wheeled it into the station for him. Harry thought this was strangely kind until Uncle Vernon stopped dead, facing the platforms with a nasty grin on his face. "Well, you are there, boy. Platform 9 to platform 10. Your platform should be somewhere in the middle, but they don't seem to have built it yet, do they?" He was quite right. Of course, there was a big plastic number 9 over the platform and a big plastic number 10 over the next one to it, and in the middle nothing at all. "Have a good term," said Uncle Vernon with an even nasty smile. He left without another word. Harry turned and saw the Dursleys drive away. All the three of them were laughing. Harry's mouth went rather dry. What on earth he was going to do? He was starting to attack a lot of funny books because of Hedwig. He would have to ask someone. He stopped a passing guard, but didn't dare mention platform 9 3/4. The guard had never heard of Hogwarts, and when Harry couldn't even tell him what part of the country it was in, he started to get annoyed, as though Harry was being stupid on purpose. Getting desperate, Harry asked for the train left at 11 o'clock. but the guard said there wasn't one. In the end, the guard strode away, muttering about time wasters. Harry was now trying hard not to panic. According to the large clock over the rival boards, he had 10 minutes. Do it. He left to get on the train to Hogwarts, and he had no idea how to do it. He was standing in the middle of station with a trunk he could hardly lift it, a pocket full of wizard money, and a large owl. Hagrid must have forgotten to tell him something he had to do, like tapping the third brick on the left to get into Diagon Alley. He wondered if he should get out his wand and started tapping the ticket box between platform 9 and 10. It didn't come. He kept on running. He opened his eyes. A scarlet streaming engine was waiting next to a platform packed with people. A sign. Sorry. At that moment, a group of people passed just behind him, and he caught a few words of what they were saying. Packed with muggles, of course. Harry swung around. The speaker was a plump woman who was talking to 4 boys, all with flaming red hair. Each of them was pushing a trunk like Harry's in front of him, and they had an owl. Heart hammering, Harry pushed his trolley after them. They stopped, and so did he, just near enough to hear what they were saying. Now, what's the platform number? said the boy's mother. 9 3/4. Peeped a small girl, also red-headed, who was holding her mother's hand. Mum, can I go? You are not old enough. Ginny, now be quiet. All right, Percy, you go first. What looked like the oldest boy marched towards platform 9 and 10. Harry watched carefully, not to blink in case he missed it. But just as the boy reached the divider between the platform 2, between the two platforms, a large crowd of tourists came swarming in front of him, and by the time the last rustic had cleared away, the boy had vanished. Fred, you next, the plump woman said. I am not Fred, I am George, said the boy. Honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother? Can't you tell I am George? Sorry, George dear, only joking, I am Fred, said the boy, and off he went. His twin called after him to hurry up, and he must have done, because a second later he had gone. But how had he done it? Now the third brother was walking briskly towards the ticket barrier. He was almost there, and then quite suddenly he wasn't anywhere. There was nothing else for it. Excuse me, Harry said to the plump woman. Hello dear, she said. First time at Hogwarts? Ron's new too. She pointed at the last and youngest of his sons. He was tall and thin a long nose. Yes, said Harry. This the thing is, I don't know how to get on platform. She said kindly, and Harry nodded. Not to worry, she said. All you have to do is walk straight at the ticket barrier between platforms 9 and 10. Don't stop, don't be scared. You will crash into it. That's very important. Best it at a bit of a run if you are nervous. Go now before Ron. Okay, said Harry. He pushed his trolley around and stared at the ticket barrier. It looked very solid. He started to walk towards it. People jostled him on their way to platforms 9 and 10. Harry walked more quickly. He was going to smash right into the ticket box, and then he would be in trouble. Leaning forward on his trolley, he broke into a heavy run. The barrier was coming nearer and nearer. He wouldn't be able to stop. The trolley was out of control. He was a foot away. He closed his eye, ready for a crash. It didn't come. He kept on running. He opened his eyes. A scarlet steam engine was waiting next to the platform, packed with people. A sign overhead said, Hogwarts Express, 11 o'clock. Harry looked behind him and saw a rounded iron archway where the ticket box had been, with the words platform 9 and 3/4 on it. He had done it. Smoke from the engine drifted over the heads of the chattering crowd, while cats of every color would here and there legs owl hooted to each other in a disgruntled sort of way over the babble and scraping of heavy trunks. The first few carriages were already packed with the students, some hanging out of the window to talk to their families, some fighting over seats. He pushed his trolley off down the platform in search of any empty seat. He passed a round-faced boy who was saying, "Man, I have lost my toad again." "Oh, Neville," he heard the old woman sigh. A boy with deerlocks was surrounded by a small crowd. "Give us a look, Lee, go on." The boy lifted the lid of box in his arms, and the people around him shrieked and yelled as something inside his poked out a long hairy leg. Harry pressed on through the crowd until he found an empty compartment near the end of the train. He put Hedwig inside first and then started to shove and heave his trunk towards the train door. He tried to lift it up the steps but could hardly raise one, and twice he dropped it painfully on his foot. So friends, here our reading for today finishes. We have completed 100 pages of this book, and meet you in the next video. Bye bye.